We're here at the HIMSS 2016 conference in Las Vegas with Vishal Gandhi, CEO of Clinicspectrum. Welcome, Vishal.
Thank you, John.
So, Vishal, one of the interesting topics leading into the conference, and I think I've heard it over and over here at the conference when I talk to doctors, is the concept of physician burnout. What are you hearing? What's been your experience with that?
No, that's absolutely true, John. Physician, if you look at most physician has two elements that give them a satisfaction, I call it job satisfaction. One is a good patient care, because a physician is always want a good patient care. They want their patients to have life improve, they want patients appreciation. Now the second part is against that hard work they are putting in, they want a reward, they want monetary benefits.
Sure.
So what has happened over a period of time that with the way the industry has changed, to make the same amount of money in last 4 years, they have to keep working harder and harder, and apparently the patient satisfaction has gone down, because when you want to work harder, you are basically turning into quantity versus a quality care.
Mm-hmm.
And the more time you spend with the patient is not leading towards any more reimbursement. So this whole reward of doing more work for the same amount of money is not leading into happy physicians goal that should be
Right.
healthcare should have it.
So it makes sense that they're getting burnt out. And I think since this is HIMSS, we talk about the technology. What impact has technology had on the physician and the physician getting burnt out?
See, the way I look at it is, most technology, whether it's a small piece of device or smartphone, needs maintenance, right? So when you are doing, right now you and me are conversing with each other the normal way. Now we add additional technology means we have to be conscious, we have to add, so there's a speed element that gets reduced. Now imagine if I used to see a 25 patient, I used to make $5,000 out of them, and now if I see the 25 patients and I only make $3,000, that's one part. And on the top of, if you add a technology, no matter how fast you are a typer or you are good at natural speaking and you have a voice recognition, you have EHR, you still require multiple steps, and that multiple steps cannot be taken away by somebody else or a medical assistant. So hence physician input in documenting the charts, working with an EHR does slow down a little bit. Yes, it does save them a time over a period of time, but insurance companies are not looking at if a technology was used in truly improving a patient care, is fine, but technologies are used more on a documentation than patient care. So most physicians are busy documenting patient record so that they get paid and they don't have an audit. So the whole fear of audit and the insurance and reimbursement is causing, I would say, not that well utilization of technology.
Wow.
Leading towards reduction in the time that they have with the patient. Half the time they are busy doing this and there is no face-to-face time with the patient.
So it kind of reminds me, essentially we implemented technology in healthcare to meet reimbursement and regulation.
Right.
We didn't do it to improve care, so now it's is there any wonder why doctors don't enjoy it? So, to me it's so odd, because in my soul I know technology should improve the process if it would focus on the right efforts. Instead of regulation and reimbursement,
Right.
It was focused on the right things. So what's the solution? What type of technology actually help doctors be more efficient, be happier, enjoy their work?
So I think the way I look at it is, if the payers and the technology vendors come together and say, listen, what is our end objective? The end objective is duplication of care. The reason why the technology is there, the data access, interoperability, that way a patient goes from, say, New Jersey to Florida and ends up into ER, is there a data of New Jersey available? That's where the duplication of care that insurance companies are already saving. So if insurance companies are going to save millions of dollars over a period of time, they should not focus on so-called documentation. They should not focus. They should probably create more tiered payment system where they're not going to audit the provider based on their documentation. Rather, the reimbursement should be, as we are seeing, quality driven. But even if the reimbursement is quality driven, if you did a 99215, they want medical records. If you did a surgery, they want medical records. You want a procedure, they want medical records. So this is leading towards more clerical work of a physicians rather than truly a healthcare provider spending time with the patient and using technology for the betterment. So I think if a payer does some relaxing the rule on the reimbursement side and say, listen guys, we'll deal with your documentation. As long as you prove certain parameters, we don't need to worry about documenting progress notes so long.
Right.
So that way you cut down the time. That will physician will enjoy, spend more time with the patient, and be more focused towards preventive, rather than trying to say, you know what, I took care of 4 issues and now I need to do 99214 and I need to do this chief complaint, the history, physical, and all of those.
Excellent.
So I think we take that element out alone. That should probably improve the overall patient care.
That would be nice. And yeah, I mean, I think we have focused technology so much on the clinical side.
Right.
But one thing I like about Clinicspectrum is that you focus on some non-EHR technologies,
That's
right?
correct.
So tell us a little bit about a few of the options you have that that a practice or a hospital or other healthcare organization should implement. That isn't, I'm going to improve with an EHR, I'm going to make you more efficient. What are some of the other things you're working on?
The way to, once you look at, as I say, that now the fact that you have to work more for the same amount of money, one of the crucial thing is that there are a lot of money stuck because of insurance issues. There are a lot of money stuck because of demographic issue. So one of the things that we have done as a Clinicspectrum on the technology side is trying to create a product that helps cleaner claims, right? So on the eligibility side, we have Eligibility Spectrum, which is a product that helps. Yes, most EHR will give you a B2B eligibility, but we take one step further. You plug in those elements of eligibility through a representative phone call into Eligibility Spectrum and plug it back into EHR. So that way now you have a complete spectrum of that patient. So the claims are going out cleaner. But the second thing comes up if a patient has a balances. Now how are you going to deal with those patient balances?
Sure.
A huge component.
Yeah.
So you took care of the eligibility part, you found patient has deductible co-insurance. Now to dealing with that in an automated way, we have AutoCollect Spectrum. So that helps, a very gentle, not trying to push the patient too much, but in a gentle level. I took care of you, now it's time to take care of you. More on an emotional ground, trying to say, well, I stood by you, here is where I need to make money too. So you can have a softer messages by physicians, by the staff to invoke patients, because patient has $100 and he has 50 items to pay.
Yeah.
They are only going to pay the top 10 that in their limelight. So you should be in their limelight to be one of the top 10 because the money is limited.
Interesting.
That's where this whole AutoCollect Spectrum comes into picture. And then the third things we have done is integrating the clinical workflow. So like where the physicians are spending time. Physicians spend time in prepping the chart. They spend time looking at what was done on the patient between the last visit and now. They spend time in documenting encounters. So to avoid some of this time, we have designed a workflow where medical assistant is taking care of some of the questionnaires, then physicians or one of the staff member can dictate the history. I mean, yes, it is a little cost, but that dictation can plug into EHR. And then when physician walks in, he has a chart that is prepared already by a medical assistant or our back-end clinical team. We say, listen,
Nice.
This patient has these things missing, or these are the gaps.
Sure.
So he straight goes into the business rather than trying to dig into that, when was the last lab work, was the last radiology report, when was the last well visit.
Sure.
So that is where you can cut down the time.
Well, and it looks like all these solutions have that principle that I know you're famous for, the hybrid workflow
That's how it
of
is.
human and technology.
That's how it is, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much, John. Thanks for your time.